the rate I've got in there is changing. It's so relatively close to us. The actual delta is changing as well. So this thing will slowly get lob long on me. 3 seconds to the next frame update. You'll see it's moved. Dun, 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 dun. 'Hello.
Hi,
Long
Doug.
time. How you doing? You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm tracking that asteroid that's whizzing by the Earth right now.
Oh, geez. I saw that. I got lousy skies. I could have done. What scope are you using? I can't see right now.
It's my 10
Oh, to
inch.
get the 10-inch.
Yeah, and it's moving. Uh I'm tracking on the comet itself, so all the stars are sliding by.
That's all right.
And
Yeah, I saw that. And yeah, tonight was a great opportunity.
yeah, but here's the sky I'm looking through right now.
Yeah, well, that's better than what I got. I have nothing. I'm out there. I just came in and I'm leaving the scope and the mount out there. I just wrapped it all up, and it's gonna get dewy, but I just wrapped it up, and I said, let me go on. But I saw this asteroid, and this is yeah, and on Sky and Telescope, and I'm like, oh geez, I got the 14 out there on the pier, and I was like, oh, I could say the skies are just awful.
Oh yeah, mine aren't very good right now, but I'm again I have it clear enough that I'm tracking it.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah, it's the one that's in focus. Everything else is blurry because it's tracking so fast.
Right, it's moving.
Yeah. Here's the
Right.
this is the RA rate, 452 arc seconds per hour and 1200 arc seconds per hour in the deck. So it's basically in the deck it's a zero point 0.3 arc seconds per second. In the RA it's about 0.12 arc seconds per second. So it's moving right along. I'm tracking at those two rates, and those rates are changing too. Those are the rates I put in about an hour ago, so they're actually invalid now. If I bring up this, I'll have to check the rates again. Yeah, see the rates are even newer now.
Well, that's way beyond what I can do.
Yeah, deck rate is
but I knew where it was. What I would have done. I would have put in the
RA and deck.
I would have just stayed with the sky and just watched it go through and had it go streak through. But you've got the asteroid itself, and that's
Yeah.
great. I would have gone the other way.
Well, that's what I started with until I got the rates, and then now I'm tracking at that rate using my guider.
And you know what's funny, Doug, is that I mean, there are a lot of these objects that come out of nowhere.
Well, this is an old one. It's been around for a long time.
Oh, I thought this was a new one.
No, no, you're thinking of that interstellar one that's new.
No, no, no.
Okay, no,
Uh,
this one's from 1998. It's well known.
oh, okay.
It's 1998
Then
HL1.
I must have misunderstood. But
It's
well,
just
even
this is a
1998, so that's new.
yeah, well, yeah, 20
you
years.
know.
But it's one of the near Earth asteroids.
Right, and this is the one they were in Sky and Telescope they were talking about. It was as big as the Empire State Building, and
Yeah, it's like 6,000 feet or something like that. Or
yeah. Well, I mean, look at this what you've got there. That is the Empire State Building, and You've got it.
so here's full frame right here. Okay,
Okay.
and it's right in the middle. And yeah, so you can just see it. If the all the stars moved, but it stayed fixed. But what I do is I zoom in so you guys can actually see it a little better.
Yeah. Cool.
You watch the stars move every 30 seconds. I'm taking 30-second shots, and I'll put a video together.
I mean, for the size of it, it gives you an idea how close it is.
It's still
You
a few
know.
million miles.
Oh, I thought it was closer than that. I'm thinking of something else.
Let me see here. Let me see what the closest approach distance was. Um, see, see if the sky has it in here. Earth. Oh, I'm sorry. I take it back. Well, no, it's zero point zero 0.04 AUs right now. So that's um, 100 million, 10 million. Yeah, it's about four. Let's see here. Zero point zero 0.04. Calculator. Zero point zero 0.04 times 100 million. Yeah, 4 million miles. It's in the ballpark of 3 or 4 million miles away from us right now.
Well, in the big picture, that's darn
It's
close.
yeah, it's a it's one that they keep an eye on.
Look at that. I love that. I love how it just shifted and you dead on.
Yeah, asteroid sizes. A skyscraper flew by Earth on Friday, basically last night. One report says it's 3,000 feet wide, which is half a mile. Over half a mile. Let's see. Just goes to show you how variable that understanding is. Yeah, its closest approach was yesterday at 0.043 AUs, which is about 400 million or 4 million miles. That's listed as 13.4 magnitude. The sky has it at 12.8. But in any case, it's kind of cool. So this is what I like to do is work on the transients. Kind of fun. Let me see here. I want to update this data here. Copy. Yeah, even this data is changing. It's 446.123. And let's see what the deck is. Deck rate. Yep. Okay. Disable. How come it won't let me change that? Oh, -1,253.3. Oh, shoot. Let's enable that again. That one might have streaked. Yep, it did. I disabled it at the last second. This one should be good now. All right. 446. Let's change. So it's at 446.123 -1,253.3. All right. There we go. Yeah, we're back on track. Yeah, even in an hour, the actual delta's changed. I just update them again. And I actually am going to have to pick another star, and I'm going to do this one over here. Otherwise, that one's going to go off the. Why did you pick that one? Well, fine. Yep, she's moving.
Doug, are you going to do a time lapse on this?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed, I will be. I've got this scheduled to take 400 frames. Looks like the sky background's gotten better, which means maybe the clouds are going away a bit. Let me take another preview of the background with my other camera. I was going to shoot the helix tonight, but it's even lower than this. It's down in the soup.
Doug, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to move into inside the house, and I'll watch it from in there.
Okay.
I'll see you in a bit.
Yep. Bring up my Discord channel. There it is. Custom status. What's a custom status? Hmm. It's so exciting to watch a dot change position, eh? Yeah, it's a little off center. But center that up. It's amazing how my tracking is not linear. Of course, that's because it's tracking at the common rate. we're still fighting high cirrus clouds. God bless it. Ah, oh, don't do that. Oh, I messed it up. It's gonna be wrong now. I'm gonna have to stop it. Yes. Abort. Support the sequence. No, don't slew. Start over again. Gotta copy the RA again. Oops, why didn't copy both? Copy both. I have a jump in it, but that's okay. That's the way it goes. There we go. Okay. It's going to recenter on the new coordinates. Oh yeah, I accidentally interrupted the process by changing a piece of data. I decided, oh, well, we're just going to abort and try it in a minute. Should have kept my hands off of it. That's what happens. Dun, 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 Surprised it was off at all. Yeah, but it was. It's one of the things I should check on as far as the plate saw is concerned for this setup. Why did you abort? What's going on here? Okay, it's tracking now. All right. And it's got a pretty decent star. All right. Yeah, it's this one right here. This will turn to a dot on the next frame. Yep, there we go. I wonder if I could have done this with ASI cam. I don't think so. They won't let me go long exposures, if I recall correctly. There we go. Yeah, we can see it. I have my Discord channel open too for those on the YouTube channel who want to talk to me. You go to download Discord and you go to the Northern Cross Observatory Discord channel. As you watch, every 30 seconds the frame updates. You'll see the stars move up to the upper right and the asteroid stays as a pinpoint in the center. I'm currently tracking on the asteroid. Sky must be getting gray again. Background's starting to lighten up. Currently, this is the sky I'm shooting. Oops. This is the sky I'm shooting through right now. Actually, that's the sky I'm looking at right now. So the fact that I can even see the asteroid is amazing. Can barely see it through the cloud cover. I should be doing a time lapse on my sky just for grins. Let me set that up. Let me see how many. Yeah, we'll take 100 of those. Those are pretty good. Let's just start that capture and let it run. So while I'm taking high magnification on the asteroid, I'm taking a wide field of this general sky conditions. Hmm. Shooting through clouds. Hi, Cirrus. But I'm still got the asteroid in the field of view. It's right in the middle. Notice all the stars are streaking, but the asteroid's I'm tracking it at the asteroid rate. There we go. It's another frame just updated. Hi, Dave.
Good evening. What's the target?
I am following an asteroid.
Ah,
Here, I'll put this up here. I didn't see that. This is that asteroid that's flying by us in the last 24 hours.
I've I haven't been paying attention to the Astro News. I've been focused on the fire news.
Yeah, yeah. This went by us just within the last 24 hours. It's kind of on its way away from us now, but I'm tracking on the target, and then the stars are oblong because
Okay,
I'm tracking at comet rate right now.
so the target is nearly dead center of the image.
Yes, and it's the one that's still a pinpoint. If I zoom in, you'll see it. And if you watch, you'll see the stars move every 30 seconds.
How large is this puppy?
One estimate is 6,000 feet.
Oh,
If I check the data again on it here,
and its approximate distance.
about 4 million miles at
Wow.
closest approach. So
It's
it's
actually.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, no, go ahead. I was just going to say it's kind of amazing you can actually see it.
Yeah, it's about 13th magnitude. I'm running 30-second exposures at a gain of 400. And that's the lower right hand corner. That's the sky I'm looking through right now.
That's kind
Kind of crappy.
of. Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of crappy.
Given it's much later at night there than here.
Yeah, it's 9. It's 10 to 10 right now.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of smoke um, uh, blowing over the area, so I don't know whether it'll clear enough to even bother going out.
So as far as the size of this thing, I've seen numbers anywhere from, well, this says it's 3,000 feet across. What I'm looking at here, which is still pretty big.
Yeah, well, makes me glad it's going by.
Yeah, but its closest approach is um, 0.04 AU, about 4 million miles, about 8 times the distance of the moon, or no, 16 times the distance of the moon. So it's out there a little ways. But I thought I'd catch this tonight because I'm one of those guys who goes after comets and asteroids. So,
Yes, you do.
and I'll make a little time lapse of this. It won't be completely smooth. I had an interruption a little bit ago. I had to start it up again. And not only that, it's moving so fast that the actual rate changes. The RA and deck rate that I use is different now than it was an hour and a half ago.
Really?
Yeah. So I had to update the rates about 25 minutes ago. Because if I don't, they'll start getting a little oblong itself. And that makes sense. Its tangential rate is the rate that we are using is the tangential RA and deck, right? And so as it goes by as close as it approach, it's perpendicular to our line of sight. And now as it moves away, it becomes more oblique. The angle becomes larger.
Well, the rate that you're using, is that a rate that is a lookup rate or a calculated rate? Or is it a manual adjustment rate?
It's a dynamically calculated rate based on its position in the 3 dimensions relative to our position.
So your software is doing that?
Yeah. Here, let me show you something here. No, you weren't supposed to maximize it. Thing. The actual RA deck rate is right here in the Sky software. You probably can't see it because it's too small. But the actual rate itself is actually changing while I'm looking at it. And it's in arc seconds per second. So as it's moving away from us, the actual RA rate is changing. In other words, it's getting shorter. And I could see it getting shorter. That rate is getting smaller and smaller in the RA. Okay, but it's actually getting bigger in the deck. It's down in the 10,000ths position, but actually hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. It's at 10 to the minus 6 position. It's changing. That figure is changing every second here. So the Sky software is calculating it, the rate change. So you have a rate that's usually fairly fixed for some of these, but this thing's moving so fast away from us that the rate itself is changing.
Hmm. Well, that's impressive.
And these are the numbers that I have to recalculate. The RA rate, this is I calculated about 40 minutes ago. And now it's even changed since then. In fact, let me recalculate them here. Let's see here, where's my calculator? In fact, I'll do this right on the screen here. I'm going to take the RA rate here. Copy the RA rate. Times 3,600. So that's the new number. See the number I've got here is 446.
Mm-hmm.
The new number is 438. It's slowing down in RA. So I have to take that, and then I'm going to bring up my, I'll bring this up right here. Tools.
So do you have the solution for shooting it down?
So I'm going to update that RA rate right now to that, and then I'm going to update the deck rate here. Pull that up now. Copy the deck rate. Go to calculate. Paste. Times 3,600. Now I'll take this rate and I'll put this. See, it's changed. It's geez. Problem is I have that. That's off my other computer. I'm going to move this off the screen so I can see it. All right, so it's at minus 1254.76. Okay, so now that's the new rate I'm running at now. And the way this works is I'm guiding on this star here, but I'm shifting the scope by those rate changes
Mhm.
every 2 seconds. There's a fraction of that being moved in order to keep up with the asteroid itself. Because my guider can't see that asteroid. It's not enough infrared coming through, near infrared coming through to the guider. So, so I just updated that rate. That's a good one for an hour probably. It'll probably be good for the rest of the night. But one thing I have noticed is the stars are now streaking to the left instead of down and to the down. They were when I started, they were streaking a little bit um, from about the 8 o'clock position to the 1 o'clock position. Now they're getting closer to about 9 to 2. And that just happens to be the relative position of the asteroid in the sky. See, if I zoom out, this is my full frame right here. It's just a tiny dot in the middle of this frame.
Right.
But if I zoom in, it gives you a little bit better perspective of what's going on. Plus, I'm running FITS files, so it's not debayered at all. So you guys are getting the grid.
I see. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, if it was debayered, it would look better. But I guess I'd have to pull up AP Tools to have it in color.
Well, we wouldn't. There's not much benefit to having it in color for this.
No, it'll be in color when I do the video. But for now, it's just it's just a regular FITS file that you're looking at. And the only thing that's interesting is the fact that it's moving.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a comet where I might be able to detect the tail, but
Actually, it's not. It's not moving from the point of view of watching your images.
right, it looks like the sky's moving. Yeah,
Right.
but this is again, though, the sky I'm looking through is these clouds here.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Those are high cirrus clouds. I'm taking 30-second shots with the Canon T3i with a 10 mm lens. I'll do a little quick time lapse of the clouds rolling through as well as part of this. Yeah, you can watch the actual cloud layers moving too.
Yeah, I see that.
It's clear of my north property, but I'm not there.
Yeah. If ever a man needed a remote site, you're it. You're that man.
Yeah, it would be nice to be able to do that, but
There are other things in life.
yeah. Let's see. Let me turn that on. There we go. I forgot. I mean, I've got my. I guess I'll turn that off. I don't need that to be on. I was going to dink around with tweaking the collimation a bit tonight, but it's actually 33 degrees out right now.
Oh,
So I don't really feel like sitting out there with Allen wrenches in my hand.
no, no.
Yeah, we're supposed to get frost tonight for our first freeze of the season. Supposed to get down to the 20s.
Well, we're hoping it cools off here.
You're over there in California.
Yeah, waiting for them to turn off the electricity tomorrow.
Hmm, fun stuff.
Yep. They're predicting it'll be off for us from Saturday evening early to for 48 hours,
Hmm. Is that just because of the
depending.
fire hazard?
Yeah, we this time of year it's not unusual for us to get strong, dry offshore winds, and uh, that since the state gets the state is very it only rains. We have a distinct rainy season. The rest of the year, the state is dry. Everything is very flammable.
Right.
So you throw in some 10% or 11% humidity and an 80-mile-an-hour wind, and doesn't take much to start a nasty fire.
Right.
And they are predicting 80 at some of the along some of the ridge lines of the coastal hills. We had a fire during the last blackout. There was, in fact, a fire. Uh, my wife and I probably saw the people who started it, uh, but they don't know. We don't know. We didn't. We couldn't tell anybody who it was. We don't know. Only where they were and where they came from. But they apparently they were vaping and somehow managed to start a fire and departed without telling anybody they'd started a fire.
Hmm. Well.
So the fire burned. The wind was very low, very slow. So the fire burned at a leisurely pace, downslope, 40 or 50 acres, right up to an area of houses. Where fortunately there was the homeowners had made some effort to clear their fence lines, and the fire department was out in force, anticipating that there might be a fire. So they were able to put it out without too much difficulty. Otherwise, it would have had it kept going. It would have burned. I don't know, like there were 100 very expensive homes.
Mm-hmm.
The people they evacuated the residents. It's a one road in, one road out neighborhood. So potentially a very bad situation.
Right.
So
Yeah, but I guess I don't understand why the power is shut down.
they shut down the power so that power lines damaged by the fire don't create more fires.
Oh, okay. So they explode and things like that.
Yeah, so they de-energize the system, as they put it, um, and or that power lines damaged by wind don't fall and start fires.
Mm-hmm.
So the current fire that we have, the utility said that. Well, actually, Cal Fire discovered that one of the jumpers on one of the lines had broken, where they jump around the insulators, had broken. But they're investigating. But after a couple of days, they still don't have any evidence that it started the fire. Really, that there was damage to one of the big towers uh, from whatever winds there were. Um, so after they shut it down, they have to inspect every inch of the line before they re-energize. So they claim to have 6,000 people deployed in the field and 40 choppers. And it will still take 2 days to restore the power
Hmm.
because of some requirement that they inspect every inch of the system.
I wonder if this asteroid's gonna occult this star that's hitting. It's getting close to.
Sure looks close, doesn't it?
Yeah. Next frame should tell me something here. 3, 2, 1. Nope, it's gonna slide right by it. See, the way this works is I'm actually tracking on this star that's in this field of view here. Okay. And that star has been moving up to this direction, up to the upper left.
Hmm.
And so I'm using that's actual guiding on that star, but shifting the RA and deck of the mount by the two factors that I put in. So eventually this star is going to go off out of the field of view, and I'll have to pick a new one.
Okay.
But it keeps the asteroid in the field. So, oh, yep, that star just went sliding by underneath it. Yep, there it went. Yep, went whizzing by underneath.
It's not often we see things moving this fast relative to
Oh,
the
right.
background.
The last one that was kind of this fast was Florence, and I have a time lapse of that. Part of the time lapse is tracking on the stars with the asteroid moving, and then the second part of it is tracking on the asteroid with the stars moving. It's on my YouTube channel.
I'll have to look if I still have power.
Yeah. Are you gonna lose it tonight?
No, it's probably the earlier today they were predicting 7 o'clock tomorrow, subject to revision. Last time we lost it just about the time, just about when predicted, a little later perhaps. So I guess their position is if the winds should suddenly pick up, then they're going to cut the power earlier.
Hmm.
And because we live in a hilly area, in fact, we live right on a little pass through the hills. We're we're one of the places they're going to shut down. Oops, someone is calling me.
I'm putting that link in here.
I'm watching your video.
Yeah, that was Florence back 2 years ago.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a 1950s special effect.
Yeah.
If you just had a little flame shooting out of the back of the asteroid, we'd have it. But a flame that went up, curled up.
You can the jumping points are when I had to stop and restart. Yeah. Because of this. Okay, the second segment is tracking on the star, so the asteroid itself is now moving.
That's really very good.
Yeah, it's over 2 years ago. I think that was 800 frames. Let's see. Those are only 2-second exposures. Those are just 2-second exposures. That Florence was pretty bright. Of course, the gain at that one was 575, so almost
I
400.
saw that. Yeah.
This one I'm running a gain of 400. I could have done higher gain and shorter exposures, I suppose. I actually could do that. I could change this. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. Skies looks like some clearing is coming here. Still shooting through clouds, but that stuff's moving north to south. The field of view of that wide field cameras, I'm looking basically south right now. Southeast. Over.
Those are pretty bright clouds, or appear to be.
Well,
Uh,
it's 30-second exposures.
oh, okay.
So, even though it's an ISO 1600, those are 30-second exposures, so they're gonna look bright,
Okay.
relatively speaking. I mean, you can see the wall of the observatory, right, in the lower
Yes.
right-hand corner. So that gives you an idea of how much exposure I've got right now. It's not actually that bright out there. But if I zoom it in, you can see Cassiopeia here up in the over left-hand corner, left-hand side. This is a real wide field. It's 90 degrees.
Oh, yes. Okay. I have to get my eyes into just the right precise focus distance.
And there's the arm of Andromeda, and just to the right of the Cassiopeia. But that's the cloud cover I'm looking through right
See,
now.
those are pretty. That would be enough clouds to discourage me.
Hey, yeah, it's not going to be clear again for another week.
Okay.
and actually, it's supposed to get better after midnight here. So that's the only reason I opened up was I figured if I can get the asteroid on, I can collect the data. I don't care about prettiness. All I care about is tracking it. I like to do some astrometry on it, all these frames I'm getting, so that I can help maybe calculate the orbit with some of the software I've got. So, yeah, what I needed to do was this. Yeah, okay. But anyhow, that's why I have that piggyback camera, so I can keep track of the cloud cover. It's not quite an all sky, but it's a good chunk of sky. It's piggybacked on the 10-inch and allows me to look at the area that I'm shooting. And yeah, I mean that's almost continuous cirrus clouds, but I can still see the asteroid in the main system, which is kind of amazing in itself.
I was going to say, if you figured it, what would you did you say? Mag 13?
Yeah, yeah, yep. So that is that midpoint, basically midpoint of my A to D, 27,000. So I wouldn't really want to change the exposure. The asteroid's right in the midpoint, a little less than 30,000. That's a fairly good fit. It's one of the things I try to do is the area or the object of interest. I'll take some sample shots to see if I saturate any part of the object of interest, and then I'll change my exposures based on that so they don't saturate any of it. I don't care about the miscellaneous stars that are around the field. It's the object that I don't like, especially on galaxies that I shoot. I look at the core to make sure I'm not saturating the core.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you get the effect like a lot of people have M31s where the core is just totally burned out.
Well, it's difficult not to do that.
Right. Well, what? But if you do a little bit of practice before you actually make your run to determine the gain and the exposure time you want. You focus on the core so it doesn't get saturated. Everything else will fall behind on it. If you want that detail in the core, you don't want it saturated. So, yeah, it's clear. I have friends that are up near my north property. A guy that lives up there is having a star party this week, which I, for the first time in quite a while, declined to go because I have family things going on. So they've got clear weather up there right now.
Just keep reminding yourself that family comes first.
Oh, yeah, it's my dad's. We're celebrating my dad's 90th birthday tomorrow.
That definitely beats the star party.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. If his birthday was actually a week ago, but we're gonna get together. All of us children, his children that are still in the state right now, three of us and our spouses are gonna go have an afternoon dinner and then cake and ice cream back at his place.
So he's doing all right, your dad?
Yeah, yeah. Considering his age, yeah, he's doing well. Um, he had his gallbladder taken out in February. That was the first significant thing that's um, happened to him in quite a long time.
We're going next month to celebrate a relative of my wife's 100th. And it's kind of amazing when you think about it. And she still gets along. I'm amazed at how well she does.
Oh, he
Not
goes
one of
out.
the
He takes walks, and I think he goes out every Friday and plays 9 holes of golf with his friends.
Wow, there you go.
I tell him, says, Dad, you're in better shape than I am. He is. He actually is. I I'm in terrible shape.
When my dad retired, he played a lot of golf, and one of the people that was, in fact, I saw him, but I didn't get a chance to speak to him. But one of the people that was often out when he was out was playing golf at 102 or something like that. Was just he didn't move very fast, but he could still hit the ball.
Well, that's the key. See,
It was just amazing. And he bought his last golfing clothes in 1950, I think.
they're all plaid.
They were.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Plaid.
It was just sort of amazing to see that he was see a guy that old actually playing around the golf. He didn't play 18 anymore. He played 9.
Yeah, that's about 2 hours worth, hour and a half worth. That's more than enough walking for that age. Heck, my kids keep telling me I should get back out and play golf again. I haven't played in about 20 plus years. I, my problem is my wrists, and I'm overweight. So it's not.
A lot of overweight golfers. Think of President Taft.
Yeah, my problem's not the years; it's the mileage.
Well, I was able to make a much simpler decision. I just decided I didn't enjoy it. Stopped playing.
Oh, I enjoyed the heck out of it when I was playing.
That saved me any later anguish about how often I could get out or how much it cost or
Yeah.
all the other things that the urge to buy new clubs.
Yeah. Well, I took up I started coaching fast pitch softball back 20 years ago, and that's one of the reasons I gave up. I didn't have time anymore.
Well, that would cut it.
Both of my daughters were in fast pitch softball tournament play in the summertime and varsity in the spring. So I just
Yeah, I can understand that.
I just didn't have time.
You're supposed to save golf for when you retire. Oh wait, you're retired.
Yeah, that's the point my kids are making. You're retired now. You got time. I said, well, yeah. I'm also 50 pounds heavier now. Oh
Well,
man.
you gotta go to a course that doesn't allow carts.
I used to walk it anyways. In fact, I used to go to 1 week trips with 16 other guys, 15 other guys, and now I take that back. We used carts because we played 36 a day.
Whoa.
Yeah, we play individual play in the mornings and then scrambles in the afternoons. Oh, I was a fiend. I was a golfing fiend. I had a 5 handicap.
So that's a serious way to relax.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I had 2 hole-in-ones in my career. I don't even know how many eagles I had. I had several. I had many eagles. I got pretty decent for an amateur.
Well, I admire that because I was never anything but a duffer.
Well, at one point I was playing 45 holes a week.
Whoa. Well, it takes that, doesn't it? You have to really concentrate on it.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't go out a couple of times a month and expect to get much better.
No, I put in the effort. One winter, I kept getting better every year. I said, well, let me put some work into this winter, and I actually had to. I was 40 pounds lighter when I started that winter, and I lost 30 pounds that winter. I went from 198 to 168, working out at the gym, and then hitting couple hundred balls a week at the range, working on my swing. And I, told, I totally freaked the guys out in the leagues that first week out in April. I shot close to par 3 nights. 3 nights that week, I shot close to par in 3 different courses. They go, "Where the heck did that come from?" They noticed I had lost the weight too. I was down like 168, 170, which is a good weight for me. But I had gotten really strong too. So my goal was to get better, and I did. I came out. I played great golf that year. Great golf. I got my handicap down to five strokes for 18 holes. Had a lot of fun. And for about 3 years, I played about to that level. And then the oldest was getting into fast pitch softball, so I got started coaching that. And then my younger one, 5 years later, my younger one was playing. So in fact, at one point, she and I were uh, going to either practices or games 7 days a week one summer.
Looking to get a college scholarship.
Yeah, she got one.
Oh, good.
Yep, she got a scholarship at a local college. She probably could have gotten a 4 year at a Division II, but she didn't bother to apply. But that's okay.
Well, if it works out in the end, it does, and
Yeah.
so.
But that wasn't the goal. My goal was to give her something to do to be healthy and have fun. Yeah, and
And you,
keep her off the streets.
I thought it was sons you were supposed to worry about in that regard.
No, any kids.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's like astrophotography or astronomy, right? If you get your kids into astronomy, they don't have any money to go out and buy drugs
I never thought of that.
because they'll be buying eyepieces and telescope stuff. And I had to build mine because I didn't have any money, but that's okay.
Well, I admired the guys who ground their own mirrors and built their own scopes, but I didn't have the patience for it.
Well, that's the only way I could build mine. I could get my first 8-inch scope was to build it. So I got a kit for I don't even know what the cost was, and I got a 55-gallon drum, empty metal drum. I built a little platform on top of it, and I was down in my basement grinding away. When I would have been just probably had just turned 17.
Hmm. Not what most guys that age were doing.
No, I know. It was an 8-inch. I built an 8-inch for my first.
I got a phone call I have to take.
Yep. Well, I think I'm going to stop my YouTube channel because I don't see anybody on here. No, there's nobody on my YouTube channel, so I think I'll probably shut that down.